Jill and Stephen here.
Take it away, Jill.
Jill and Stephen here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Jill DeWitt with...
I'm Stephen Jack Butella, broadcasting from Lake Tahoe, Nevada.
Yay. Today, Stephen and I talk about planning for retirement, working the numbers backwards.
Exactly, Jill.
This is show 752. Amazing.
Spoiler alert, we're going to talk about math. We're going to say things like this. Well, I need $5 million to retire so I don't have to work anymore. We're going to divide by 12, $166,000 a month, and then divide by... We're going to... it's going to...
Am I going to need a notepad
situation.
and a calculator for this?
Nah.
Okay.
This is 35,000-foot discussion. This is a fun stuff.
Okay, great.
There's no hard work here.
All right. Well, this is all part of this whole topic this week, which is your real estate investment career. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the LandAcademy.com online community. It's free.
Luke asks, have any of you used a property tax reduction service? If so, which one would you recommend? This is a great question, Luke. Probably Luke Smith, right?
I'm guessing.
Here's the deal. All over the country, and there's different laws in every state, and sometimes there's municipal laws where you are allowed to, and usually encouraged by the people at the county, to contest your property tax bill. It doesn't happen too much for the rural vacant land because literally the property taxes are $10 a year or $20 or even a couple thousand, which is really no big deal. But I'll tell you, on a primary residence, let's say in California, you can actually go before a judge and say, look, I just don't think that this increase in my property taxes is justified, and here's why. And the numbers are staggeringly in your favor. Mm-hmm. My parents, my mother specifically, did this every single year from like 1980 on. Mm-hmm. And she got to know the judge literally because it was a real small community in a suburb in Michigan. And she won every single time. Mm-hmm. Like they became friends.
Well, let's be honest. They often don't know, and I think you're right. I mean, I think that they encourage and appreciate you coming to them, and you have to come with your, do your homework. Have to have comps in the area, really showing that here's why I think my house is only worth X. This one 2 doors down sold for this. This one across the street sold for that. This is why I would really like you to please revisit the assessment of value here. And let's get these numbers back in line. And if you have some good comps, I mean, there's nothing they can say.
Right.
It's really kind of a, it's funny how many people, A, don't know you can do that.
Exactly.
And B, don't take the time to do that. And I have to tell you, I honestly, I can't believe I'm going to admit this. I didn't know that there was a service that I could give properties to and they would do this for me. I think this is brilliant. And it makes me think of right now stuff we're doing with House Academy. I'm talking to house investors in the Phoenix, Scottsdale, Mesa area who own 10, 20, 100 rental properties. If I were them, I would be doing this every single year. I would be having the service for all of my 100 rental properties, getting those taxes as low as possible, the property taxes as low as possible, because it affects my bottom line. Especially, even if it's just, think about it, just, gosh, $1,000, off your taxes times 100 houses that one person owns, ding, ding, that's a lot of money.
Most of the situations that I've seen where this gets contested, what ends up happening is the property taxes do not go up, but they also don't go down. So usually what you're contesting is, I want my property taxes to stay the same. Getting a reduction, that's pretty tough. There's the tax, you're going to have to really dig in and do some math. And what Luke's saying here is that's when you really want to use the service.
Right.
And I think they charge you a percentage of what they save you. Like, I don't even think you have to, if they don't succeed, you don't pay them.
I think it's totally fair. Even if it's 50%, I'm in.
Yeah.
You know what? Because it's better than what I would have done before,
I
which
agree,
is
Jill.
zero.
I agree.
So if you get some money off mine, then more power to you. That's
Here's
great.
what else is shocking about this. This always shocks me. I don't know why. People at the county, they want you to win.
Yeah.
So a month ago, Jill and I were checking out. Bought a bunch of stuff at Target because Jill likes it because it's for women. It's too expensive.
What the heck?
I hate going in there.
Oh my gosh.
We're checking out, and the checkout
hilarious.
lady says, "Look," because I stuck my debit card in the thing and put in my PIN, and she said, "Do you have a check?" I said, no, it's not 1967. I don't have a check. In fact, I don't even think I have a checkbook with this account. She said, okay, well, take a look at your bill. Here's your receipt. Congratulations, you were charged $14, which is what I think 3% of our total. Congratulations, you spent $14.10 on
too much.
A debit card fee. And I turned red with anger.
It's part of their card. They want you to link up your checking account to their service, their like red card, and then you get a savings.
I went nuts.
Yeah.
And she was like, yep, I'm glad you're going nuts. She was like, I tell every single person, no one, we've been going there for years. Guess what? No more. We don't go to Target anymore.
Yeah.
Walmart doesn't do it.
You're so funny.
And the grocery store doesn't do it. So my point is,
Kids.
She was like for the people, man, people power.
Don't tell
And
Dad you got that at Target.
I would have hugged her, if Jill wasn't there. This is a sweet old lady. So
I still
could
go
have
to
hugged her
Target.
anyway. But my point is, that's the way the people are at the county about taxes. They're like,
Right.
yeah, man, get it reduced.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they can. That's why I think there's a conflict of interest as a county employee.
No, you have to come forward. It has to be that's a formal process for everything. Let's be honest. They're not going to just go do the work unless you say something and fill out these papers.
Exactly. Today's topic, planning for retirement. Let's work the numbers backwards. This is the meat of the show. Every once in a while I sit down because I'm bored and I really try to avoid work. That's what this whole podcast is, by the way, is avoiding work.
752 shows later, you avoided work 752 days in a row. Good job.
That's retirement, actually.
Yeah,
avoiding
thank
work.
you.
So every once in a while I put together this little equation a lot of years ago because I was bored. And it says, how much more life do I have, right? How many more years do I have? And I usually say, let's say I'm going to live till 90, which is awesome. Jill's going to live to be 180, but I'm probably good for 90, which is X amount of years from now. So let's just say it's 30 years from now. I'm not 60 at all, but let's just say it's 30 years. And how much money do I need to live per month? So I have 30 years left. I'm going to just randomly say $5 million. It's a lot more for us, but because I'm with Jill, and we spend some money.
Look, come on. I didn't see you complaining about the view when we checked in yesterday, by the way.
$5 million divided by 30 years. I want to retire tomorrow. Equals $166,000 a year. This is after-tax money. Let's not talk about taxes today. Let's just talk about money. Divided by 12, because there's 12 months a year. That's $13,888. Can I set aside $5 million today and then just start, this isn't like real estate investment money. There's a million things we can talk about. Oh, you should put it in the stock market. Oh, you need a retirement plan. Oh, you need I'm not talking about. I'm talking about good old-fashioned cash in the bank or money in a mattress. You've already paid the taxes on it. $5 million. Can I live on $13,888 a month? And the answer is heck yes. Mm-hmm. If you can't live on $13,000 a month, you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself some questions.
This is true.
You have a shoe habit or a sports car habit or something, or a habit of putting the wrong stuff in your body. I don't know what kind of bad habit you could have that costs $13,000 a month is not enough.
Right.
Do you have any?
Do I have any habits?
Yeah, like really terrible habits.
I don't know. Do I?
I don't know. I don't spend every waking minute with you.
I don't think so.
I don't think I do either.
No, I really don't. And it's, I think I did. Once back in the day, I did have some habits. They weren't my habits. It was like keeping up with the Joneses. You're supposed to do this. We're long past that. I know people.
We are the Joneses.
Now we are. And we're all doing it a different way. It's a much better way.
So
I want to get by on less and have more money. You know what it is? There's a mental shift, I think, that some of us have had, and it's awesome, where instead of how much can I spend, you become kind of a hoarder of money. Not a hoarder of stuff, a hoarder of money. I check our bank account. I watch, and my role in the company too is operations, really keep an eye on all this stuff too, but I have eagle eye on all of our accounts, all of our expenses.
Me too.
Everything. And it's funny. It's so funny sometimes.
So easy now.
I'm so the opposite that I'm like, what are we spending $39 a month on?
Yeah.
And my staff's like, we need that plug-in. I'm like, all right, okay, you're safe. But
You're the right girl.
thank you. It's so silly. Who cares? But anyway.
All right, so now we're working it backwards. We worked it all backwards. We've established that $5 million is a great safe number. How do you get to $5 million? I don't have $5 million in the bank. Well, not us, but a listener might be saying that to themselves. I only have like $84,000. Let's say $100,000. How do I get to $5 million? How fast can I get it to $5 million? You buy a piece of property, and yesterday we talked about ranches in Nevada. You buy a property for $100,000. And you sell it for 200 or even 150. I'll tell you what, if you sell it for 150, you're going to get there a lot faster than selling it for 200. But I'm going to use round numbers. 200, we're going to double our money. How long does it take to buy a piece of property for 100, sell it for 200? Now you've got two of them. Now you have 200,000 to work with. Now you've made 400, 800, 1.6. You could do this in a year.
Yeah.
You could generate $5 million in a year, and you're done. Assuming you have 30 years left. Most of us have way more than 30 years.
What if you even did it in 5 years? I don't think that's bad.
Yeah.
What if you even did it in 10 years?
Well, Jill and I are
bad.
huge advocates of not quitting your job. So, yeah, take your time. Do it in 5 years. Don't quit your job. At the same time, I don't want to get all Dave Ramsey here, but at the same time, you should get debt-free.
Yeah.
That
should be number one.
Somebody told me a long time ago, it was actually my next door neighbor, I was just a child. He said, there's no better way to save money. There's nothing better than saving money. Saving money is better than making monny when you really look at it.
Right.
So, and Jill's right about the $39 plug-in. There's no tax involved. There's just the single, if you go on the internet and say, what's the single best way to accumulate wealth or accumulate equity, they're going to say, don't buy stuff. When you buy a couch, there's delivery charges and taxes and all kinds of stuff. Just keep your old couch as long as you can. Jill's like, what the hell?
Totally.
Jill's like, no, I need a new sink faucet right now.
Yeah, I do not. I do not.
Keep the car as long as you can. Never buy a new car.
Well, here's
all that stuff.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of how do I say this? I mean, there's right ways to do it and there's wrong ways to do it. Is how I see it. You don't have to keep your car until it's on its last legs. I'm totally understand that, especially if you're doing really well. You want to have a nice car, and that's a little treat. For me, it's a treat for me. However, what I won't do is finance a car. Save up until you can afford to pay cash for a car. And by the way, don't use, now I have, $50,000 in my bank account, I'm going to go buy a $50,000 car. No. When you have $200,000 in your bank account or more, then you can look at a $50,000 car. You don't want to bring yourself back down to zero. Don't ever do that.
Right.
So that's one of the points that I want to make. And then I had a second point about the retirement. You can take your time, be realistic. I know when Stephen said, I want to make sure everybody understands, you bought a property for $100,000. Why does it sell faster? Why is it easier to sell it for $150,000 than it is for $200,000? Because it sells faster.
Because it's cheaper. It's a better deal for the buyer. That's
my point. So I want to make sure everybody listening understands that. That's one of the things that we do and why we get ahead faster. We're not trying to maximize the revenue so much as get the deal done quick with a good profit and move on. I can do 3 really fast, or I can sit and babysit this one, and in the end, it doesn't pay off. So that's the point why you might let something go a little bit faster. You got to buy it right now. It's a good price. Take it. Move on.
Let's talk about land versus houses in this role. Land. It is very possible, and it happens all the time with our group members. You can hit a home run. You can buy a property for $100,000 because somebody really needs some money, a seller, a property owner, and sell it for $800,000 because it's worth 1.6. You can fast track yourself to this if you only concentrate on this property, especially if you have a good job and your bills are paid and the whole thing. With houses, you're removing the possibility, in my opinion, of hitting a home run. But I'll tell you what, you hit base hits all the time. You buy a property for $350,000 and sell it for $370,000.
Right.
You can do that all day long. There's no sales issues. I mean, you just slap it right in the MLS for a fixed price. You have a crystal ball. So do both.
Yeah.
Spread it out and diversify.
Love it.
Well, you've done it again. You spent another 15 minutes or so listening to the Land Academy Show. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode where we discuss why recruiting is your new full-time job. Congratulations. This is your real estate investment career week.
And answer your questions posted on landinvestors.com, our free online community.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Good show, Joe.
Thank you.
Am I too preachy?
No.
You know what? We're on vacation. I'm happy.
Do you know what's so interesting? It's I'm trying to give good numbers to a variety of people, and I know right now with this week you're talking to the top level investors, so I'm trying to now and then make it appropriate for everyone. So
that's a great point, and I thought about that before I actually wrote all these topics in this week. And here's two things that have happened. The last 3 weeks, the themes were: so you've sold 100 properties, now what? So you sold 1,000
properties, now
what? So you've sold 10,000, and the numbers of listeners literally doubled. And here's what I think: even if you're brand new as a listener, you aspire to be the person who's done 10,000 deals, or you aspire to do somebody who's planning for retirement.
Touche.
You know?
It's like playing a sport.
Yeah.
You're going to play up to that better team.
That's right.
If you're playing a worse team, you find yourself playing down to that team.
Like marrying up.
That's it. Marrying up. That's
somebody.
We should have a week on that.
Who married up?
You did.
I know, that's what I mean. Someone has to lose. It's a zero-sum game. In a marriage, only one person can marry up.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
So somebody's a loser.
Only one person can marry up. You both don't get to. Oh, no. This is awful. Oh, boy. We need to cut this right here. Share the fun by subscribing on iTunes or wherever you are listening. And while you're at it, please rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.